Welcome to This Explainer. I am so glad you're here. We're going to dive straight into a tech setup that honestly can completely transform your business. We're talking about taking that kind of amateur, generic email presence and turning it into a total professional powerhouse. And we're doing it by connecting a custom domain to Zoho Mail. If you've ever felt intimidated by the back end of email hosting, don't sweat it. We're going to break this whole thing down visually, step by step.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap. First up, why professional email matters. Then, starting with Zoho Mail, verifying your custom domain, configuring DNS, MX, and SPF records, and finally, launching your brand new inbox. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Why professional email matters. Before we get into the how of all this, we really need to nail down the why. I want you to think about this. Is your generic email address actually hurting your business credibility? It's kind of a tough question to face, right? But if you're operating in a competitive sector, you really have to consider if that current setup is quietly costing you client trust. People just naturally make these split-second judgments based on the emails they get.
And this brilliantly illustrates what I mean. Look at the stark psychological difference here. On one side, you've got a standard generic email, your name at gmail.com. But over on the other, a professional email like contact@yourbusiness.com. The source material points out that branded communications just flat out receive higher open rates and better response rates. It's fundamentally more likely to be trusted because it instantly establishes your authority.
But listen, moving to a professional domain is absolutely not just about aesthetics. It brings massive security upgrades that you literally just do not get with standard free accounts. We're talking about crucial stuff. End-to-end encryption to protect your sensitive data, advanced spam filters to dramatically cut down on phishing, multi-factor authentication, and these things called DKIM and SPF protocols. These literally verify that the emails genuinely originate from your domain, which completely protects your business from data breaches and criminals trying to spoof your identity.
Moving right along to Section 2, starting with Zoho Mail. Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer value Zoho brings to the table. Traditional paid email hosting, that can easily run you anywhere from $6 to $25 or even more per month. But Zoho Mail's forever free plan costs exactly $0, provided you already own your domain name. You get up to 5 users included, plus 5 gigabytes of storage per user. It's just an incredible way to lock in that professional look without getting hit by high monthly subscription fees.
So how do we actually pull this off? Well, here's your high-level 6-step journey. We're going to create the Zoho account, add your domain, verify that you actually own it, configure those technical records, create the specific email address, and then verify delivery. Try to keep this map in your head because we are about to zoom way in on the technical specifics.
Section 3. Verifying your custom domain.
Okay, so Zoho needs absolute proof that you actually own the domain you're trying to hook up. You have a few options here. Option A is automatic verification. This is highly recommended if you use Cloudflare. It's practically a one-click advantage where Zoho just handles everything for you in minutes. It's a real game changer. But if you're using another domain registrar, no problem at all. You'll use option B or C, which just means manually adding an MX or CNAME record to your domain settings just to prove ownership.
Section 4. Configuring DNS, MX, and SPF.
Now, I know this part looks like a completely intimidating alphabet soup of acronyms, but please don't panic. We are going to translate all this technical jargon into plain English right now. First up, DNS records. Think of DNS as the internet's master address book. Or actually, it's more like a massive postal service. Without it, the internet has absolutely no idea where to send traffic or emails addressed to your domain name. You literally have to update this master address book so the internet knows exactly where you live.
Let's move to MX records, or mail exchanger records, and see how this builds on that analogy. If DNS is the postal service, your MX records are the local post office sorting facility. By adding Zoho's specific MX records to your domain, you are explicitly telling the entire internet, hey, please route all my incoming mail directly to Zoho's servers. Next up is the SPF record, which stands for Sender Policy Framework. Think of this guy as a really strict security guard checking the mail carrier's ID. When you send an email out, the receiving server checks your SPF record to make absolutely sure the server sending it is actually authorized by you. It's an absolutely crucial line of defense to stop criminals from forging your email address and ensuring you don't just end up lost in someone's spam folder. And finally, DKIM records, or Domain Keys Identified Mail. This is a security protocol that acts just like an old-school wax seal on your envelope.
It slaps a digital signature onto your emails, guaranteeing to whoever receives it that the message wasn't intercepted or somehow tampered with while it was in transit. Section 5. Launching your new inbox. You've made it through the tech setup. We are literally at the final stage, and honestly, these final steps are an absolute breeze. Inside your Zoho admin console, you're just going to click Add User and type in that beautiful new professional address. Something like contact@yourdomain.com. Set a really strong password for sure, and then the absolutely crucial final test. Log in, send an email out to your personal Gmail account, and then reply back to it. This confirms that your whole post office routing system is actually working perfectly in both directions.
So the crucial point here is, what happens if that test fails? Don't stress. If you aren't receiving emails, just go back and double-check those MX records. If your test emails are unexpectedly landing in spam, verify your SPF and DKIM records are completely correct. But remember, and this is big, any changes to DNS can take up to 24 hours to fully ripple across the internet's master address book. So sometimes you really just need a little bit of patience.
I want to leave you with this really fantastic quote from the source material's author, Hassan Taher. He says, "The implementation process is simple and can be completed within less than 30 minutes, and the long-term gains of being associated with your credibility and brand are priceless." I mean, talk about an incredible return on investment, right? 30 minutes of navigating a few technical menus, and you secure a lifetime of brand authority?
So, I gotta ask you, are you ready to conquer this setup and launch your professional brand today? You've got the roadmap, you know the terminology, and you totally understand the massive benefits. It is officially time to ditch that generic email and step right into the professional spotlight. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I seriously cannot wait to see what you build.